Hello,
Hi.
Happy New Year and welcome to 2020 and this special webinar to start the year off. And look, we've got a guest who's just popped in, literally just came in about
It's
an hour
true.
ago from Montana.
Yeah, hi. Hello.
This is Shubhata.
Shudaba.
Shudaba.
Sorry.
Shudaba,
Yeah.
sorry. And yeah, what do you want to just say a little bit about you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go on.
So I trained with Cliff, God, when was it? Early 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, early 90s. And I've been living in the US for about 8 years, and I live in Montana. And I might be wrong, but as far as I know, I'm the only Shiatsu practitioner in Montana.
Right.
As far as I
Wow.
know.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it's absolutely great being this side of the camera.
Because
For
you're
a
a real
change.
fan of being on the other side,
Yeah, I
aren't you?
love it. Yeah, it's a real lifeline. So it's absolutely great being here.
It's incredible
Yeah,
to be on the other
yeah,
side, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
so it's brilliant. Yeah. So we're going to do the webinar together and we're going to do the exercises together. I really look forward to this webinar because it's a way of just focusing our energy for the year ahead and everything. And look, we've got loads of people from all over the place,
Oh, they all
from
said hi.
Belgium, Greece, Austria, Athens, France, Istanbul, whoa,
Wow,
Heidelberg, Vienna, Panama,
wow.
Zora from Panama, New York. There we are. Look,
Oh,
there's some
yeah.
American ones.
Hello, Americans. Yeah.
So there we are. I'm going to share the slides. Here we go. So there we go. Managed to get a picture of you, put it in there. So it's brilliant. And let's just see what we've got in store for you. We've got an hour together to look forwards to the new year. And here we are. I've got a lot of exercises, energy work exercises, and some polls to find out how what the results of your exercises. We're going to be just looking ahead to the whole year, your Shiatsu year, just seeing what kind of energy you can feel ahead of you. We're going to do some basic maths to see how full you are, how much capacity you've got if you do want to grow your practice. We're going to be exploring the spiral, which is a kind of idea of how you can control whether your practice is growing or shrinking. And then we're going to be looking at what's at the center of the spiral, doing some energy scanning on different levels. And then finally, we're going to look at the wave. And if there's time, we'll look at some practical techniques that we can use to help get the word out if you need to do that. So that's the plan, the overview. So first of all, we thought we'd just start off by doing an energy exercise. And what you'll need to do, if you haven't already got it, you do need to have some paper and a pen or pens, pencils. And what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, just see if we can get a feeling for what the year ahead is like before we do anything else. Okay, we're just going to see whether our vision for the next year, what it's like, whether it's clear or whatever. Okay, so first of all, so just have your paper and pen ready. We'll just go to the next slide. And this is, you can just maybe title this Vision for 2020. Okay, cool. Okay, so what you can do now is, if you like, you can just close your eyes and I'll talk you through the energy exercise. Okay, so what we're going to do is imagine that we've got the year, our Shiatsu year ahead of us. Okay, it's right in front of us and we're just going to explore what it's like. Okay, so does it have a shape? Does it have a color? And using other senses, does it sound like anything? What does it feel like? What's the feeling you get from your year ahead? Okay, and then finally, how clear is your image of the year ahead? Does it feel very clear? Can you see it as a clear shape, a clear energy going forwards? Or does it feel a little bit cloudy, not so clear? Okay, just sit with that for a second. Okay, now if you had to draw your year ahead, draw your Shiatsu year ahead, what would it look like? Okay, and just open your eyes and then just draw it, and you can draw right on it, whatever you want to do. Okay. Okay, very good. So you can either type in what yours looks like. Can I have a look at yours? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to just describe what kind of?
that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So it feels a bit rocky.
Oh,
Like
does
I'm
it?
going to say, yeah, like clumpy and a bit rocky in a way.
Okay.
But when you said what's the feeling of it,
Yes.
I felt like a bit water flowing around it, you know, flowing
Okay.
through it. So not necessarily straightforward, but
No.
I can move around it a bit somehow.
Okay.
See that?
Okay. Yeah. Mine complete contrast.
Yeah.
Mine is like totally like clear. I think the thing about it is I've just finished working on my diary. My diary is completely full for the whole year, so it's kind of a done deal now. And I feel like it's got certain boundaries to it, and it's looking fairly clear.
Right.
It's kind of reddish, you know.
Right.
So, look, like a rainbow. So
nice.
clear lines ahead, like a straight path in pastel colours from Monica. So that's great. So if you'd just like to share in chat a few features of your year ahead, and then we'll launch the poll. And what we're really asking is, how clear does it feel? How clear does it feel in the future? So here we go. I'm just going to share the poll. Yeah. So how clear does it feel? How clear does that energy feel going forwards? We'll have to, and we'll see. Wow, look at that. Okay, look at that. The by far the biggest,
clear,
very clear. Yeah, clear or very clear make up 68% of the responses. Yeah, and there's only 13% not clear. Yeah, interesting. Well, we'll have to see. Those of you who answered not clear, let's just see whether or neutral, of which, you know, there's like 32% neutral or not clear. Let's just see what happens in the next 50 minutes as we go through a series of exercises exploring our Shiatsu practice. Okay, so now it's time for the maths. Okay.
Yes.
So this is an exercise that you can do to figure out whether you're full or not. And actually, I want to tell you a story, because we did this last year, and a very famous Shiatsu practitioner, who I'm not going to tell you who it is, said to me after the webinar, I met her, and she said, do you know, she said, thank you so much for that webinar, because I've been beating myself up about not getting enough new clients.
Right. Was she full?
Full.
Yeah.
She worked out, and this is how you have to do it. You have to work out the number of possible treatments, and that's not a fantasy. That has to be how many you can actually deliver with your energy reserves, the free time you've got, you know, how much studio space you've got, what other commitments you've got. You have to be realistic about and your own energy, you know, what is the absolute maximum number that you could do in a week? Okay. And then you take the actual number you've got. And of course, when she worked out, when she really thought about all the other things she was doing, the teaching, the traveling and all the rest of it, she actually found out that she couldn't do any more. And so then she didn't have to worry about getting any more again. So it's a very practical exercise. And of course, if it's the other way around and you're doing much less than you could be and you want to do more, then it's obviously time to do something about it, which is partly what we're going to do today in this webinar. Okay, so you have to take, this is where you need the maths. You need to take the number of possible treatments per week, and that has to be a realistic number. Okay, so for me, it's like 12. I've actually cut down this year. I've cut down to 6 a day for 2 days and 7 for 1 day. And I was, for the last few decades, I've always been doing 7 a day. So I'm going to calculate that down. Okay.
So I can say 16.
Yeah. Okay, and then write down the actual number you do tend to do on average. Okay. And then what you want to do is a sum. So you get your calculator out or do it in your head. You need to divide the actual number by the possible number. Yeah. So if you're doing 5 clients and you could do 12, you put 5 over 12, times it by 100 to get the percentage. So I know what mine's going to come out actually. Okay, so have you done the sums? Yeah. Oh look, we've got some more. Oh, we've got some more lovely pictures of the year ahead, like a rainbow, like a wave, a warm orange glowing sphere. Sounds like it's got a sound. That's great. A blue wavy triangle, field of flowers. There's a metaphoric one. Yeah.
Flowing.
A thin tube becoming a big white bowl, so growing, so that's really good. Okay, so let's find out then. Hopefully you've done the maths by now. So let's launch the percentage webinar poll. So let's find out how full you are now compared to how you would like to be. So let's see. Look at that. You see, we've got about 70% are less than 50% full. Yeah.
I'm that one. I'm that other person.
Yes.
100% plus. Too many.
I'm afraid that's me as well, because I'm actually 100% full, but I always squeeze somebody else in.
I know.
Which I shouldn't do. I'm trying not to do that. And
it's hard.
Well, it's got easier this year because we've got more practitioners in here, so I literally don't have the rooms that I can use.
Right.
So
that's have to say no.
I have to. Yeah, I can't. I physically can't get people in. But yes. Okay, so there we are. Look, we've got 28%. 28% are 50% or more above. You know, I would say only 12% are between 76 and 100% full, you know. So if you're interested in developing your practice, it's really something that you can learn how to do it. You can learn how to build your practice. And that's what we've done on the Successful Practice course. Some of the exercises, most of the exercises on this webinar are taken from that course.
Right.
And you did it, didn't you?
Successful. I've done some of it.
Some of it, that's right. Yeah. And depending on what kind of place you're living in and what kind of environment you're in, different techniques work in different ways, you know. But we'll find out what the most important things are as we go on in the next 45 minutes. And it might be a surprise. It's nothing to do with marketing and selling yourself.
No.
It's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's all to do with energy.
Right.
Yeah.
And communicating it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So let's have a look through and see what the next thing is. We've done that poll. Okay, so one of the concepts that we have in the course that we do is the idea of spiral. Okay, and the reason for that is because basically, if you want to, Alison just says it's an interesting exercise, difficult to quantify, so work mainly on horses. rolling out according to the client's needs. Yeah, that's right, exactly. So it's difficult to do. Yeah, okay. So the spiral, the idea of the spiral is basically being able to control whether your practice is growing or not. Okay, and either it will be growing, or you'll reach a limit, you know, so you can't take on any more, or it'll be contracting and going down, you know, and basically it's all to do with like a circuit of energy that self supports itself. Okay, so let's just have a look. Basically what happens is, and I think this is what happened to you in Montana, is if you've got a high referral rate, you know, if you get good results and you get a high referral rate, then what happens then is more people recommend you. That gives you an increase in confidence, and then it just goes up. Isn't that what happens?
It is. And something that I really remember you telling me, like way back in the day, was like, you don't just have to do a good job with somebody, they have to know that you've done that.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? You both have to kind of feel confident.
Yes.
Like, you know what's going to happen, you do it. They know that you've done that.
Yes.
Do you know, like it's, what's the word? It's out there that's happened. It's not, you're not hiding that in any way.
No, okay.
Know, that communicates itself somehow.
Yes, that's right. That becomes part of the way, which we'll get on to in a minute. Yes, exactly.
That was like the best advice about practice I think I ever got, actually.
All right, good. Good. And that fits in with the pyramid that we'll look at a little bit later.
Great.
Yeah. It all fits together. But the idea of it is the positive spiral is you have a self-supporting spiral. Because obviously if you get a high referral rate, the clients are happy, you feel better about yourself. But the most important thing of all is at the bottom of this slide, which is look after yourself.
Right.
Okay. Because Shiatsu is such a personal thing, because we are our tool, we are our energy tool. The most essential thing is to nurture and look after ourselves, you know, and we've got an exercise a little bit later on, which we're going to do to just check in on ourselves and see if we're looking after ourselves enough, because it's that positive feeling about yourself and your shiatsu that radiates out, that totally will radiate out. Okay, so, and then of course the negative spiral, what is the opposite? If you feel negative, you're not really inspired, the clients aren't inspired, the referral rate goes down and things start contracting down.
Who would want to go to a negative practitioner?
Exactly.
Would you?
No, that's right. So the first thing to do is to look, if things are going a bit wobbly, is to look at yourself. You know, what can happen when you've got a really good practice that's really got a lot of momentum in it, which is another thing we'll look at, is that you're less prone to that, because what happens is the practice actually feeds you. If you put enough positive energy into the practice, when you're having a difficult time, the shiatsu, because it's exactly like doing qigong or something, you know, that can support you. But it's important to get the momentum going first. Okay, so what we're going to ask you now is we're going to get you to think about your practice, okay, and see if you can identify how what your spiral is, whether it's very positive, in which you're getting a high rate of referral, you're feeling really positive, you're feeling good in yourself, okay, or very positive or neutral, okay, or whether it's going on the negative side. Okay, so I'm going to launch that poll. Time for you to reflect on your spiral. Okay, so I'll share that. Let's just see. Oh, look, there we are.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
It's interesting. Yes, there we are. That's good. There's only a few people that feel they're really in a negative spiral. Some of you that put neutral might just be full anyway, and you don't want to rev anything up. Okay, let's have a look. Any more people like to answer? Okay, so that's really good. That's a good starting point. Those of you that answered negative, you can really use the next 40 minutes to really look at your own energy and get help for turning that spiral around. Because I think the thing about it is the thing that motivated me in the beginning was I just loved doing shiatsu so much. I wanted to be busy as fast as possible.
Right.
So what I did was I went on several courses. First of all, I was apprenticed by Pauline. She had a totally successful practice. She was completely full. So obviously I had a very good model, and I had a model of someone who was a professional shiatsu practitioner. There was just no question about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, I do. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I have noticed that has really helped me.
Oh, right.
Do you know that it didn't occur to me that I wouldn't like just be fine as a shiatsu practitioner.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't cross my mind.
No.
Because like you and Dinah and Celia are all working.
Yes, exactly.
So I just thought,
yes.
well, I will then.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the situation. And you imagine that. Imagine back in 1981 when I started, there were no shiatsu practitioners in the UK.
Okay.
There weren't any.
Right.
There were some people like Paul Umberg did some shiatsu, but he was basically an acupuncturist.
Right.
Most of them were acupuncturists.
Right.
But there were no full-time shiatsu practitioners. So of course, going to America, seeing that it was totally possible, I came back with that mindset.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to get to just make sure that I do it. And so then I started really looking at how to do that, So let's go on then. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay, great. So let's go a little bit deeper then into thinking about the spiral, because the center of the spiral is us, our energy, our ki, okay? And I can't really emphasize that enough. I mean, nurturing ourselves and making sure that our energy is positive and working is the single most important thing. And I think that's why a lot of marketing stuff doesn't really work for shiatsu practitioners, because it's nothing like having an external thing that you're selling or marketing in any way. It's not like that at all. It's a completely energy-based thing. It's a central energy, based healing art kind of thing. Of course, there are things you can do to make sure that once you've got your internal energy developing and you feel happy in yourself, there are obviously techniques and things you can do to spread it out, to spread the word and things like that. But the most important thing of all is to look after yourself, nurturing yourself. Okay, so the next exercise we've got, it's a little bit longer exercise and it's a bit more detailed about tuning into our own energy field. And so what we're going to do is this. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to find out how our own internal energy is connecting with our shiatsu year ahead. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is draw 4 boxes like this. Okay, and we're going to scan on the 4 levels. So we've got physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Okay. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to remember the shape that you drew. My one was like this balloon thing, but whatever your shape was, your year ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to go internal and we're going to test out our own ki, different levels of our ki, in relation to that year ahead. So if you are in a neutral spiral or a negative spiral, what should happen is you should identify like where the blocks might be, in your relationship to your year ahead. Okay, and if everything's going, you're in a positive spiral, again, it'll be really good just to look and see if there's anything you can work on, stuff like that. Should we try it? Yeah. Okay, so you've got your 4 boxes. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes as well. I'm going to talk myself through it because I'm interested to feel what it's like myself. Okay, so we're just going to first of all just free our energy up just by going into our alignment. Okay, and now let's just really relax. Let your head float up, sacrum hang down, Opening up the shoulders, rib cage, and then relaxing the hips. Okay, so now let's visualize that year ahead again. We'll bring that back into our awareness that we drew in the first exercise. Okay. Okay, now let's tune in on the physical level. So how do you feel on the physical level when you think of the year ahead? Okay, and now taking your physical energy field, if you can turn that into an image. And then open your eyes and draw that in the first box. Okay, so it's your physical relationship with the year ahead. Okay, got it? Ready?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, right. So now we go on to the second stage, which is the emotional level. So we're going to close our eyes again, go back to our alignment. And think of the year ahead again, the shape that you drew, the feeling that you drew. And now tune in on the emotional level. What's your emotional response or resonance with your Shiatsu year ahead? Okay, and now if you can draw that, open your eyes and then draw that. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go on the mental level, on the thought level. Okay, so again, aligning, clearing our energy field again. Okay, thinking of our year ahead. And now on the mental level, the thought level. What kind of feeling do you get in your energy tuning in on that level? Okay, and then turn that into an image, and then open your eyes, and we'll draw that. Very different, isn't it? Each time.
Completely different. It's like, I wasn't quite aware of that.
No.
That's
Okay. Right. Okay. Ready for the final level, spiritual level? Okay. So, again, aligning, relaxing. Okay, again, visualizing that year ahead. And now tuning in on the spiritual level. See what happens to your energy in that relationship to that year ahead. Okay, now if you can draw that, turn that into an image and draw that in the final box. Okay.
yes.
Would you like to have a look at your pictures? Let's look at yours first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So see these.
Yeah, you should be able to put that in there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
So the physical one was sort of all right, except I could feel my jaw clenching a bit.
Oh, right. Okay. Your
But,
jaw
like,
clenching.
Yeah, but my heart felt quite open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the emotional one felt really nice. That was all the like flowy water and things. I was fine with that.
Yeah.
The mental one was just panic. It's just like chaos and all. Just
right, there you go. Yeah.
So that's where the lack of clarity is coming from.
Oh, right.
But I don't know what it's about. I was really surprised. I was
You
like,
couldn't-
oh, it's just like mess. You know?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And the spiritual one felt fine, actually. It felt
Okay.
quite spacious, and there was like quite a big connection, and
Yes.
things seemed connected to each other. But there's
Yes.
something going on in my head that's a bit that I need to look into, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we've got something in common.
Oh, have we?
Because look, this is mine. I start the physical level. The main thing, I think, probably as I'm getting a bit older now, thank goodness I'm cutting down to 6 a day,
Yeah.
but I had this feeling of like tiredness.
Yeah, right.
You know, I felt this fit. But at the same time, interesting enough, I had a real feeling of energy surging through my physical body, which is what happens when I do shiatsu. I find it very energizing. But the thing is, the thing I've got to watch for, obviously, is this tiredness feeling. The emotional level was completely different because I totally felt the space, and I felt excitement.
Yeah,
I
right.
felt real excitement, sort of,
Yeah.
and almost like a joy thing.
Yeah.
But on the mental level, I felt this sort of layer like
right,
that.
right.
And the word that came into my mind was defending the time.
Oh, okay.
That's what I had.
Yeah,
I
right.
just felt like this, the shiatsu world
Yeah.
there. I just need to sort of protect it. I felt there's
Yeah.
like all these other things I have to do in my
Yeah.
mind kind of coming in
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, right.
So I think that
Yeah.
was for me the same thing.
Yeah,
I
a
needed
bit-
to somehow make sure that I look after that feeling of being pressurized.
Yeah.
And the spiritual level, again, was really, really nice. It was just like a big sort of space, you know.
Yeah.
So I would say that if I had to, you know, I think probably the emotional level was the most positive. I thought, whoa.
Yeah, I felt emotionally very positive.
Yeah, and the mental level was the most challenging one.
Yeah, and slightly physically.
And physical.
I had to gather myself together a bit to do that amount of work.
Oh, right. Is that what the mental level was?
It was slightly like that.
Oh,
like,
the jaw.
Like, come on, you can do this. You know, a bit overworked.
Well, there we are. That's another really good example about having to look after ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know, defending the time.
Yeah.
So we'd be really fascinated. First of all, just oh no, we're back. Yeah, sorry. We'd really love to see how you felt about it. So looking at your diagram, you're looking at your drawings, could you just say there's two poles, which one felt the most difficult or challenging? Maybe we'll start off with that. So which level did you have the most difficult or challenging energy exercise result? Let's see. Wow, this is just so interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, look, it's so interesting. By far the most, more coming in, let's just see. Physical and mental are the most challenging. Yeah.
People most relaxed emotionally and spiritually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which is what
it's similar to what we had, wasn't it? Yeah. That's so interesting. So now let's see the so that's really interesting. Basically, the most challenging or difficult were the physical and mental by a long, long way. Okay. So let's see what you found the most, the clearest or the smoothest or most positive level. Presumably it will be the emotional and spiritual level. Let's have a look. But not necessarily. You see, some people might find it, might find a different balance. It's similar. Yeah, it's pretty much that. Yeah, spiritual. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Clear and
straightforward. Clear. Yeah. So that, I think that's really, really very revealing.
Maybe about who we are as well.
Yes, generally as Shiatsu practitioners.
Yeah, how we work.
We tend to be very emotionally engaged and spiritually engaged with work. I thought that was pretty amazing that so few people found the spiritual level a problem. It's like we have the spiritual path. The Shiatsu is a spiritual path.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's amazing
that it comes out like that.
Yeah,
and then the majority of us feel positive emotionally about it.
Yeah.
So it's just looking after the.
But then you've actually got to do it and think about it.
Oh yeah, that's it. Right. Doing and thinking. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's the practical side of it, isn't it?
That's the harder bit for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And so I suppose that's having techniques that can help us with that. Then actually organising it. And doing it is probably what we need, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Assistance, that's what we need.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting. Let's quickly go back onto the chat and just see it's anyone. Oh, look, here's another one from America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Calm emotional sort of waterfalls on the spiritual level. Oh, so it's a metaphoric thing. Yeah. Patu. And physical and mental levels were more tense. Oh, that's so interesting, isn't it? Yeah. I think there's two messages there. One of it is basically look after our physical body. I think that's so important that we look after our physical body.
Yeah.
And the second thing is maybe the other lesson is maybe just get organized and then just relax, like do stuff that you need to do. Have a system.
It's so obvious, isn't it, when you say it? Look after your physical body and get yourself organized.
That's definitely what's pointing.
That's what it comes down to, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
and I can feel that's right.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? When you say that, I think that's what I have to do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so now let's look at some techniques. Then we've just got 20 minutes left. We're just going to look at some actual techniques, and we're going to do one more energy exercise, which is a really interesting one, and especially for those of you who are Maybe the practice could grow and something like that. There's techniques. All these techniques are from the Successful Practice course, by the way. Okay, this is the principle, because basically what we try to do with the Successful Practice course is we basically try to do a completely marketing free course. You know, we want to get all the marketing stuff out and just do energy work, because that's what we're good at. Okay, so these are all concepts that we've come up with, and one of them is the wave, and you've really felt that, haven't you, where you live, because it's a very small community.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So can you just say a little bit about how your practice grew? Because you originally didn't think you better get any.
No. So I was first just like living in somewhere with like 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And no real Shiatsu practitioners, and I didn't have a very nice place to practice.
Yeah.
And I think I helped somebody with their back. You know, I was just chatting to somebody and I helped them with the back, and then they told somebody else, and you know, and soon I'd got as many as I could do in our back bedroom. Right. Really, you know, which I was really surprised. And then I moved 70 miles away and had to start again. Oh, really? You had to start over again? 3 years later. Yeah. And all those people have come with me, and I've still got them.
They travel 70 miles?
So well, 140.
140 round trip?
Yeah, right. Which is amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, that has amazed me.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And I think it's like, well, I've got a really good connection with them all, though.
Yes, I think that's true. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing about Shiatsu. You do get a bond, don't you? Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the things that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on.
That's it. Well, I just got people really because they recommended other people. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it's recommendation.
It's like, they've done it for me, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that wave goes out, and it can be through personal recommendation, but it can also be something that you can actually do something about, even when you just meet people. I remember you were talking earlier about you were talking to people on the market.
That's right. Yeah, I worked at the market and just chat to people, and they'd sort of ask me what I was doing and say, well, I'm doing this, but, you know, I do Shiatsu as well. And then go, well, you know, I've just dropped a piece of heavy machinery on my shoulder. Can you do anything about it?
Doesn't it? It happens in Montana all the time.
So that's kind of, I think that's probably how it. Well, I don't quite know, actually, but something like that.
Yeah. Okay, great. We've got lots more in the chat while we've been chatting ourselves. Mental is like an unwound rebound ball of string.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And look, Patricia says she's saying as she's aging, it's the same issue.
Right.
She's doing exercises to look after herself. That's great. Great. Yeah. Okay. Some great stuff on the chat there. Uses the Tai Chi move and everything. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay, cool. Yeah. So the wave is basically an information wave will spread out, whether you're talking on the market, meeting people, or basically, every time you have any encounter with people. Okay. So in the next, because we've only got like 10 minutes left, we thought we'd do a little exercise, another energy exercise. Okay. Which is, and this is just like one little exercise from the practice management course. And it's like, I'm going to take you into it because it's a body energy awareness exercise, okay? So if you just like to close your eyes, okay? And just imagine that you meet someone that you don't know that well, it's an acquaintance, okay? And you're just talking and just chatting. And then they ask you something about your Shiatsu, you know, what's it like? How's it going? Okay. Now, before you actually think of the actual answer, what I would like you to do is just tune in to your internal energy. What kind of movement of energy do you feel? Is it like a contraction or an expansion? Does it feel heavy or light? Okay, and then just imagine that you can just imagine in your mind what you might say to them. What would you say to them if you had to sum up your Shiatsu in just a few sentences, just meeting someone on the street? Okay, so now think back to that experience. Think of what happened internally in your energy field when they asked you about your shiatsu? What was the first movement of energy that happened? Because that movement will create the wave, and it will be behind what you actually say. Okay. Now, if you had to turn that feeling into an image, that internal feeling, and then speaking the way those words out to that person, what kind of image or what kind of drawing would you do? So when you've got an image in your mind, then you can open your eyes and draw it. Try and draw the internal feeling, and then the feeling, what would happen with that energy in those words as they go out. Have you done it? Have you need a bit more time?
Yeah, no, I've done it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Should we share them? And maybe you can just put on the chat if you've got any really strong images, and then we'll just share ours with you. So do you want to go first? Yeah.
So the feeling of it is like I do feel like my energy collecting and I want to communicate something.
Yeah.
But there is a level at which I struggle with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, if I can connect with the person,
yes,
it doesn't really matter too much what you say.
Yeah.
But like, there's a way of expressing it that I feel a bit inarticulate sometimes. I don't quite know how to say something that's about what I'm actually doing.
Yes.
That doesn't just sound, wacko.
Oh, right, really, yeah.
So then I just make something up.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
So there's somewhere I get a bit lost.
Oh, okay,
here, I think.
Yes.
But but it doesn't seem to always really matter even.
No, it's more the energy. It's more the energy that comes out.
But actually definitely. What I say,
I don't think it matters too much.
I just sometimes hear myself and think, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
So,
but Pauline had a remedy for that.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
Tell
which
me.
is basically she got me to memorize it.
Oh, so you just say something?
Yep. I had a script. I had to memorize it. because I was picking up the phone, when I was being apprenticed, I was picking up the phone. She said, right, you have to, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I had a script, and I can remember it to this day.
Okay, good. Let's hear it.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
It sounds a bit American, but she said, I had to say when I picked the phone, because people would say, what is Shiatsu? And I said, Shiatsu is a system of healing and health maintenance, similar to acupuncture, but we use pressure using our hands instead of needles.
Okay.
And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if they ask any more, then obviously you can elaborate. But that was a basic thing. Yeah. And I thought, and I use that to this day, because it's ingrained in my mind. Yeah. And of course, the thing is now we've got so much with all of the advances. And I mean, that's, I think, the big miracle about Shiatsu now is we really know how it works now, so much more than we did 30 years ago.
Right.
So if people ask me, I just say, well, and they say, well, the meridians. I say, they're facial planes that are developed in embryology. Didn't you know that? Because of Dan Keown's work and everything. Right. I have to say that I do feel so much more secure talking about it now.
Yeah, right.
Because it's all pretty nailed down. I mean, it's so much of it is.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because I feel very secure practicing it.
Yeah.
And I do, I feel like I know what I'm doing. But how do I articulate that? Is sometimes that I find that a little tricky. I would just
memorize it, and then because then the words won't get in the way, and all they'll feel is your energy, going up, So do you want to see mine? I tell you what, I felt a really quite a very expansive feeling here, and it went out, and it was really expanding. But then I got this
protection layer around me.
Right.
And that is because I've got too many clients.
Right.
So it's like I have to be careful. I mean, what I've actually done in the last quite a few years now is I've actually not done anything that's likely to bring me new clients.
Right.
Because I just can't fit them in, pretty much. But it's very difficult because so much word of mouth out there, you know.
Yeah.
So I never carry cards. I never do any. I mean, the centre does, but I personally never carry cards. I don't link my diary to the website anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I do everything to try and stop it. And that, in a way, when you've got those skills, you can actually do it to a certain extent. And then it's just, you know, you can't control the personal recommendation. Except that my clients now say, one of my clients actually said about a year ago, because what happened was she didn't book far enough advance, so she couldn't get in. It took her 6 months to get an appointment. She said, I am never going to recommend you again to anyone because I can't get an appointment. I mean, okay, fair enough. So that's it. People are actually not spreading the word because they want to make sure that they can get in.
And do you have a waiting list?
At the moment I don't. I'm okay, but for 3 years, my diary would be filled with a waiting list of up to 5 people a week as soon as I opened the diary for a year ahead. That was in the mid-90s. So, and in a way, you don't really want to be. It doesn't really want to be like that because it's too much. And the other thing, of course, is that we've got like thousands. The chat system's got clients that go back to the 80s. So we've got clients that come back after 30 years. You know, they suddenly remember. Oh yeah, I remember. You know that you know, like it helped me and stuff. So so that's it. So we want to find out what your exercise. Oh look, this is interesting. Dinah, very good, Dinah. Yes, that's a very good post. It totally depends on my instant perception of that person, what kind of language I'd like to hear. You know, I think the thing is,
I think I do that. I think I try and get onto what they're talking about and say it in that way.
Yes. Zoe wants to know. Oh, it's Dan Keown. Zoe, it's Dan Keown. He's just written a book. He wrote the book Sparking the Machine. Yes. And he did a webinar for us a little while ago.
It was amazing that.
Yeah,
it was really great.
A really good one. He's going to be doing another one as well soon with the European Shiatsu Congress partners webinars because he's going to be in Amsterdam next year. So that's it, Dan Keown. Okay, so let's find out about we've got a few more minutes left. Let's find out how positive your wave was. Okay. What was your wave like? This is the one, I think, isn't it? Let's have a look. Okay. So how would you assess your wave, the wave that you gave out? Positive, very positive, neutral, negative, or very negative? Okay. Okay, very interesting, because look, the amount of negative waves, they're very similar to the number of people who had the negative spiral. And I'd be interested to know, obviously it's confidential, but I'm interested to know if they're the same people that have had this problem with the negative wave going down. Okay, that's pretty good though. Only 13%. And some of you have got a neutral, could be like me, you could be putting that protection up if you've got too many clients. If you haven't, and if you want to have more clients, you want to open up the energy field of your client, I would recommend that you really look at that. You look at, go through those exercises, you know, tune into your own blocks with your work, and you can test yourself every single time someone asks you about Shiatsu. You look back on it and think, how open was I? How positive was it? What kind of vibe was I giving off? Because I've known new practitioners to inadvertently push people away.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
We had that with Zahara, who's now not with us here. She's in Spain.
I remember Zahara.
Do you remember Zahara? Yeah. She was a classic because she graduated. She used to sit just outside here in the coffee bar. And every time everyone asked her how she was doing, you know, how's your shiatsu, she would go, oh, it's not going very well. Oh, you know, she gave out this negative wave to everyone. And she would actually refer other people to other practitioners, even when people wanted a treatment with her. And when she did this exercise, this massive light bulb went on above her head. And, and she switched overnight. I think it's because she was like Catalan, you know, she just saw it and she went, right. And that was it. And she had the fastest growing practice in this practice after that for several months afterwards.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Just by doing that, just by watching for that, you know?
Yeah. because it just makes you aware, of what you're doing,
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm definitely going to look at that mental thing a bit
you
more.
should do.
And just think, okay, what is it that's panicky?
Yes. Because really, I think really what we want is we want the right practice for us, the right practice that we can manage. We want one that fulfills our own needs, but also one that we can clear the energy, completely clear the energy, so that we really enjoy it. So that basically the physical and the physical and the mental level are up there with the spiritual and the emotional, And then, and that in itself is like a modeling thing, isn't it?
Yes.
It's modeling that.
Yeah. Right. So
exactly.
then your client's going to get that as well, and then they're going to feel loads better.
Exactly.
And then, you're going to feel loads better.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. It's a self-development thing. Yes, exactly. It all comes back to us in the end. Okay, good. So we've only got 5 minutes. Look, hasn't it gone quickly? It's really gone quickly. And I've got some news about the new energy work just before we finish up. But just first of all, let's just go on the chat and just see if anyone's posted anything about their experiences. Oh yes, look, learning a simple kind of mantra about what Shiatsu is by heart makes so much sense. That's what Diane says. Yeah, that's it. I sometimes too enthusiastic. That could be a problem. Yeah. But I don't know. I think I'd rather be too enthusiastic than the other way. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So I've got some news about the new energy work wave. Because I don't know if you know, but you probably know that last autumn we changed everything around and we went for a membership model. The reason we wanted to do that was because we wanted to create more of a community, and because we didn't want to have the pressure of always producing successful courses to pay the bills and stuff like that. We thought, let's grow a community, let's bring make it reasonably priced and build a community. And the thing is, it's been unbelievably successful.
Right.
I mean, we've now got, this is how this spiral has grown. The amount of activity has grown exponentially. We've now got over 2,000 enrollments on the courses because of the membership.
That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And we wondered why we were getting so busy and all the rest of it. So we looked at we saw these graphs of the amount of activity that's going on.
Yeah.
And this one on the left is the people signed up for the mailing list. And all these other analytics are the amount of activity on, particularly people completing courses and completing observed treatment seminars. And basically, we're looking at an exponential growth. So the whole thing is just going like that. So obviously, because we're all Shiatsu practitioners, we've all got busy practices and everything. There's a limit to how many members we can really give a good support to. So what we've decided is we're going to limit it now. We've divided, rather than having just an ongoing membership, we're going to divide it into 4 seasons. So we have a little different theme each season. And we're going to limit the members and only have 4 months a year where we take applications and just limit the numbers, So we'll only take like 10 or 15 new members on so that we can cope with it, because otherwise it's just going to spiral.
Because you have to answer everybody as well, don't you?
Yeah, we
get chats and all that.
You get the chat, you get the forums, and also just people, want their password, they've lost their password, or they want to change it. I mean, there's we've got lots of support. We've got a great team, but there is a limit to what we can do, and we want to give a good service to the members. We don't want to be stressed ourselves on the mental level or the physical level. So we decided to just try and control it and just let it grow a bit more slowly. So if you do want to join us, we're going to only have applications up to the end of this month, and then we're only going to open it for membership up to the end of this month, and then after that we'll just 4 times a year, we'll have a month, and then we'll decide how many members we can take on.
Wow.
All right. So that's how we're going to do. So only January 8th, that's going to be the beginning of each season sort of thing. And we've planned a program. We've got a nice program for the next year, which includes the European Shiatsu Congress in Amsterdam and all the rest of it.
So it's exclusive.
We're going to make it more exclusive. We're going to have to. We're going to have to. So those of you who are already members, well done. Yes, hang on in there. And then if anyone's interested in joining, then if you can do that by the end of this month, and we'll just see how it goes, and we'll just try and control it, everything. Okay, so that's our news. That's the spiral in action. That was extraordinary. We wondered why we were so busy until we saw the graphs going like this. So anyway, okay, so I'll send out the links to the recording and everything, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's so
You're most
nice.
welcome.
Yeah, it's so nice
to be
here.
To be on this side of the camera.
Yes. I know.
So there we are, all the way from Montana. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this webinar, and we've got lots of interesting things coming up. We've got next week, we've got the European Shiatsu Congress webinar, one of a series. We've got Michel O'Doul from Paris.
Okay.
Yep, I've just finished his book, very interesting. Show me where it hurts, and I'll tell you why. So yeah, thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
And yeah, be in
Bye.
touch. Bye-bye.